none of them had bid on the project. So, Aaron maybe can talk to a little bit if you want to get more details on that RFP process. But so we ended up convening again. We met with the chamber and said, let's go with a much more simpler approach to this year and try to work with our local vendors. And that's where this proposal from the Madison Flower Shop came in. So Aaron, if you just want to, what were the numbers again on the two bids? I mean, they were crazy, if I recall. 100,000 something.
One was over $100,000 and the other one was over 73,000, I think it was. Jacqueline or Kristen would have, I don't have the actual responses in front of me, but yeah, they were.
What did we pay last year, Aaron? Do you remember the total? Like just to compare it.
It was near 30, I think.
And that was still over budget from the original budget that we had for this. If you recall, we ended up doing a special meeting to award some more ARPA funds to it. And the idea was, okay, we'll get out earlier. Sherry was going to do that. It just didn't materialize and then she left. So now we're kind of in the same boat that we were last year, playing catch up.
Yeah, and so what we ended up doing was we reached out to the chamber, Dawn Johnson specifically, and to kind of see, they do a sponsorship of wreaths on Boston Post Road, and so she had worked in two local vendors that have been doing work both in partnership with the town and partnership with the chamber for almost all of their existence, was Madison Earth Care and Madison Flower Shop. So we thought it would be a good choice to reach out to them to see if they may be able to provide something. They're not lighting installers, holiday lighting installers, but they are landscapers and can do at least greens with lights. So we ended up kind of going back towards the traditional decorations that the town had historically prior to COVID. So we ended up getting proposals from both of the companies for 36-inch round wreaths, lit wreaths, double-sided, that could hang off of all of the light posts, both on Boston Post Road and on on Wall Street as well. And then also to have some balsam garland coming down each lamppost that would be lit. So both companies came back. Madison Flower Shop was slightly less than Madison Earth Care. So we thought it might be worth a conversation to speak with both companies to see, one, if they would be interested in sharing the project, and maybe one take one street, one take the other. And after talking with both of them, Rachel Blunden made it clear that she's about to have her third child, and that she was really quite okay with letting Madison Flower Shop handle the holiday lighting as they have, decorations as they have in the past. I didn't realize she was due this December, so actually the day after Christmas. So that's enough on her plate. And we did, we talked about, we'll have to kind of move forward in early anticipation, early in this new year, to talk about some options for next year and how the town wants to approach that, as well as, possible partnership with the chamber, or seeing what the local businesses really are looking to do, and maybe get them involved to do some more storefront decorations, things like that for the window shopping. So the proposal that came to us from the flower shop is for $26,896. It does include every pole, the decorative street lights on Wall Street and Boston Post Road. So that's a total of 45 poles, I think, off the top of my head. And those would each have lighting. They're LED lights, but he is hoping to do a softer white light and not that bright, the whiter white lights. And that's
light up the library too, Aaron, too. Remember how they did like the blue library and all that? Is that
right? So in the past, that was sponsored by the Madison Beach Hotel, and we have had, and it worked out that we had last year's lighting installer was able to install that on behalf of the beach hotel. It's our understanding from talking to John Mathers that the beach hotel would still like to donate some money to the library, but the lighting installation wouldn't be covered under our plan for the light poles. That would be either the beach hotel's contractor or a separate entity to do that. But I do believe that they're looking to still have some, on the shrubs, and they had some uplights last year also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Aaron, I may be asking a silly question here, but at the end of the season, who owns the lights?
Well, so these lights, that's a good question. I believe that they're going back with Jay and Donna to the flower shop. They are responsible for installation and disassembling the holiday lights. If Jay in the past, I think has stored seasonal baskets at the flower shop, so I'm sure we could have a conversation with him if there's value in having those lights for future.
Yeah,
The
I
question
know.
is it an asset that we own? I mean, based on the 27, whatever it is.
No, I mean, I think that all
We're
of
paying
these
more for the
services,
service as
it's
opposed to the
always been,
lights.
all of these services has always been, they put them up and then they take them down, and reusing them. I know, because we talked about this in the past, Scott, at other previous meetings. It's not worth the, I guess, amount of effort to try to preserve them. Like, you're going to spend a lot more labor trying to do that than the actual cost of the lights. And I just want to kind of remind, Jen was not involved in this, but we had supply chain issues last year too, because there was a shortage of lights coming from China because of COVID. And so every year has been kind of a roller coaster with this project, and it's looked different. I know. And some years, everybody had their favorite year, I think, in terms of how the lighting was configured. And I mean, I think our goal this next year is to come up with something that's consistent, that's affordable, and that we can just kind of go with every year, right? And that everybody's happy with it. Whereas it's just been a little bit, it's a new thing that we tried, and I think people love it, that we do something. And so I think this year is going to be a little more traditional than we've had in the past. But I still think it's more than what the town had done pre-COVID, because I don't think we wrapped all the poles on both streets.
No, it was just the lit wreaths.
Yeah, just the lead, right?
The
So now the
double-sided
poles will be
wreaths on
wrapped
each
as well. So I
pole.
think it's going to look really, really nice. It'll look very Hallmark movie-ish, I guess.
Yeah, classic Christmas.
Yeah, I think it would be in keeping. It's a village district. I think they always do tasteful work. And I think that we are in good hands. Having a local company that we can, know where to find them if we have any questions or concerns. And yeah, there's 200 lights, I think, Peggy indicated on each wreath and on each garland. So there'll be 400 lights total on each pole.
It won't, it'll definitely be, a good, it's not going to be as dramatic as what we'd had in the past, but it'll still be really attractive, I think, and an enhancement.
Main Street and Wall Street, both?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, it'll go wall all the way up to Bradley. We have the decorative
nice.
lights.
Yeah, that was awesome last year.
And I think the bid waiver is just here because, we didn't have time to then RFP the smaller plan, because they needed to order this stuff yesterday, basically, like literally like a month ago. But thank goodness the flower shop is able to pull something together so it can go up. What was the date they're doing the installation? It's like the 15th or something.
He's hoping to be able to install as early as the 17th. So the week before Thanksgiving, he'd like to have everything installed and lit.
Yeah. So I think that's great. And then I think the fact that we can keep it local and, that we talked to 2 local businesses is great too. So, and then the funding we have, within our budget in a couple different pockets, we have to cover these types of things. So we're okay on the budget wise. So there's no, needs to get approval for appropriations or anything for this.
And we did have this on the EDC agenda last month. I know they're meeting again this week, and talked of the possibility of, you know, dialing the scope back if cost didn't, you know, the pricing didn't work out. And they all remembered the existing, you know, the pre-COVID decorations downtown, and said that really that was not, you know, the intention wasn't to overly, you know, that year that this kind of began with the Economic Development Commission was really because they didn't know if any businesses would survive through the pandemic, through the holiday in 2020. And so they really wanted to draw people down for that reason. But the EDC themselves didn't envision that they would be, you know, hosting this you know, extravagant lighting downtown, unless of course it were partnered with some other, you know, events and things that really kind of bring in that holiday cheer, I guess. So that's something to look at. And Dawn,
Tradition, unfortunately, Aaron. See, this is what happens, right?
that's how I ended up with those stupid candy cane lights in my front yard. I put them out one year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tradition.
There you go.
My ghost lights.
That's it. It happened.
Gotta get them out.
Yep.
Okay, so any
No.
other questions? I
Nope.
mean, so this is just, like I said, the bid waiver, we're covered on the funding, and then we got a plan, which is great, and I think it'll look nice.
It's local too. This is great.
All right. So I guess all in favor of approving the bid waiver as described by Jacqueline, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, great. All right, thank you. So with that, we'll open up for public comment. It looks like we don't have.
Oh, hold
anybody-
on. Sorry. There's one more item. We just actually have to now enter into the contract with Madison Flower.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm just going to read that motion.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Discuss and take action to award a contract between the town of Madison and Madison Flower Shop for the installation of 2023 downtown holiday lighting and decorations in the amount of $26,896 as budgeted in 2023-2024.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, great. All right, thank you. And I guess public comment, I don't think we have any members of the public.
No members of the public. You're all good.
All right, with that, then I'll make a motion to
Right.
adjourn.
Bye, everybody.